Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
We are here. The brand doctors are back. Obviously, I just came back from vacation.
Exactly. How was it? How was your vacation?
It was very good. I got really deep into it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you came back in this
Me too.
weather. So thank
Cloudy,
you.
rainy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't really quite know what we're going to talk about this today. I think that when we started this out, we kind of had the idea, like, okay, we're just going to talk the first 2 times, and then I came up with the idea we'd do the interviews the next 2 times. We're going back to the duality concept, right, Doc?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I've got, and as we were talking about it, actually, I have 2. You've got one idea. I've got one. Wherever you want to start, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Well, the only idea I can think of is the Pinterest one. That's because you wanted to talk about it. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with Pinterest. And also, too, this is, so just a quick update. We've been talking about it, and I am doing a YouTube mastermind. We're talking. I'm doing vidIQ one-on-one coaching. And then you sent me Roberto Blake, and you're like, yeah, look at this one. I was like, is he telling me to join this? Why is he sending me this link? And I think it's going to be a video later on in the year, obviously, when everything, as we're going through everything. But I still want to do a rundown of what has worked, what hasn't worked. What am I using? I'm also using Spotter Studio, all the paid things that I'm doing to try to, accelerate to get to 100,000. What is like the magic sauce? So I'm working.
I also
on
wonder,
that.
like Discord communities, like Can Do Community and stuff like that, and Video Ranking Academy. Yeah, so
put them in the chat.
Andrew Can and Sean Cannell, they will have their own communities and stuff like that. I wonder, like, having some peers like that would also help. Maybe not as much as a mastermind, but still.
Yeah. And I mean, the main thing is, it's going to be different for everyone. Everyone's, this has been extremely helpful. I'm also working with like thumbnail experts or ones that are familiar with that are overseas. And it's just like, I'm writing down all the notes of what have I learned? What am I getting the feedback? And I also think it's just like continually having peers that are interested, like in trying to do it. I started my mastermind, another one for YouTube, but I feel that they are more beginners. So a lot of times, although some are making content, like it's been stagnant for a long time, and some don't want to listen, or they're just like, I'm too busy. So it's been interesting to try to juggle what I'm trying to do, passion, in trying to accelerate this thing. So
I definitely think with masterminds, it's interesting. We talked about the whole 100 reps before, and basically you're playing survival mode until you get those 100 reps, and you don't even know it half the time too. I was talking to this new creator recently. I found this person actually on the Can Do community, and they had a pretty interesting channel, and it was just one of those things where I looked at their channel and I actually offered to interview them, even though they're really small. And it wasn't because they're small that I wanted to interview them. I wanted to interview them because they actually are making some pretty good content. And they only have like 30 videos. I didn't realize how small they were until I really took a deeper look. And I'm talking to them, and they actually have a name that can kind of be not the greatest because of just SEO purposes. Like if you look up their name, tons and tons of different things pop up. And I'm like, maybe you could add your actual name to this name on the YouTube channel. And even then, some other things pop up. So at that point, I'm talking to them about like SEO and like, okay, well, how can you dominate that name so that way only you pop up and stuff like that. But they're still kind of in that mindset of just like, I'm here, I'm trying to stay here. I don't want to change too much just yet. Whereas I'm thinking kind of macro, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want you to have to deal with this later on when you have way more videos to deal with and way more content that have to change and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's interesting, like the kind of the, what is that survival picture, the triangle, as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's one thing. They're kind of like in that survival level, whereas when you do more reps and you've done it for longer and you have more platforms too, so you're not worried about putting all your eggs in one basket, you kind of get to a more higher level of that triangle.
Yeah, I think so. I think, as a creator, it's overwhelming. These are maybe quick shots like to talk about. You were talking about SEO. I can tell you about that video that popped off. For me, at least, it wasn't a huge one. And then also, too, I used the Elgato prompter. This is the first time I've been using like a prompt prompter before. and I'm severely dyslexic, and I was using the voice commands, and it was really, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do well with this. Like, I tried it for a couple videos. I'm like, this sucks. Number one,
Mm.
like one of my friends that uses it all the time, he's like, this is very common. He's like, you just gotta learn to blink, because I watched the video again and like I'm like looking like a crazy person. Um, but what I realized was I have to do it using the animation and the speed, not voice. For some reason,
Mm.
I'm not sure if it's the technology. My friend said it worked okay. No. He uses a different prompter and uses Elgato with it. I just feed it into the camera hub, but I need it to go consistently up, not when
Mm.
it's trying to track my words. I noticed that it didn't do a great job tracking my words, and then it got me nervous because then I'm looking for my script and waiting for it to move. And so I just kept it on a speed. I have to change the font and the spacing. But yeah, I've recorded like 3 videos last night. Took me 10 minutes to do the different scripts. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna
I
see
can
what
see that
happens in the
definitely
edit.
speeding up your process if dyslexia doesn't kick your butt on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And I used I was having trouble with it. Like, so I mean, if we want to go down this rabbit hole, if not, vidIQ has these assignments. I was working on it. There's a story structure that you could follow. So I put it in ChatGPT, but I screenshotted the chart and I was like, read the chart, explain it to me, summarize it, and then I write out outlines. I'm like, now build a script based off of the hook and everything.
Mm.
But then I said, could you put it in a teleprompter format, 1 to 2 sentences a piece, so I could read it? And I just copy and paste it and put it in Elgato.
Yeah.
So it took a little while. It took a couple hours to get used to that flow. But now I have my sections in ChatGPT of like, create me a title. Then I go to create a hook, put that in. Then I put it into the outline of like, this is the title, the name of the video, build out the outline and stuff like that.
Let's make a point right there, Doc, that you're using multiple tools. Like you're using AI, but you're using multiple tools to refine it. You're not just taking what ChatGPT gives you and calling it a day. And that I think needs to be highlighted right there.
Yeah. I mean, I can show it too. Yeah. It's because I was using Notebook LM at first. Then I was putting in the different content from the summary from the assignments. And then their assignments is pretty interesting. One of the assignments is start watching very specific videos that are popping off in your niche. Don't copy or don't just go in and try to emulate the video, but write down notes based on the story structure. What do you notice and how fast are they doing it? So I wrote those notes in, to get better at the cadence of like kind of videos that I'm thinking about doing. So that
More
was
about
really
their
helpful.
editing than an actual like words that are using half the time.
Yeah. And what I noticed was like Act 1, like to get to the hook, most are doing it in less than 11 seconds. And they're using stock footage or other elements, music, sound effects to keep them engaged. And man, that goes into my video that popped off recently too. Yeah.
A hook. I don't remember exactly where I learned this, maybe just from a lot of editing videos, but if your video is less than like 15 minutes, and the hook should probably be about 15 seconds. And then if you're doing a long form video like we're doing right now, the hook can be longer, maybe 30 to 40 seconds. Even 40 is kind of pushing it, but if you have some really cool moments that we're sharing, then yeah, I think it's fine in my experience. But I think that like 30 seconds is still generally ideal if it's over 30 minutes long. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, they give you a couple review videos of like Casey and others to watch his videos. I like Casey's in general. I have thoughts and feelings on him in general. But I guess in an overview, I'm like, oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of like Jacob Geller. My wife's always watching him. He basically does video essays about video games, but very specific, like
I've probably seen them, yeah.
it's pretty deep dive. Like they'll talk about like the impact of like headshots on like kids, and like it talks about the history of like headshots, how that came about, like the games, everything like that. Really, exactly. I mean, FaZe Clan. Exactly. I'm gonna bring it up, but but his videos are like 30 to 45 minutes, and you know, it just shows you the range on YouTube because you're like, oh, it's got to be this way. I'm like, does it?
I do think that right now the long form is kind of triumphing, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
Dan Coe, I saw him blow up. I literally started following him when he only had like a few thousand subscribers, I think, something like that, because he talked about generalists. And so I found him pretty quickly, and the digital renaissance, if you will. And so he was talking about this like a year and a half ago. And now he has like probably like close to 1 million subscribers, something like that. And it's just insane because he just blew up over the last like year. And he did it very strategically. And he's talking about the one creator business, and it's like the solo creator business kind of thing. And a lot of stuff that you might actually be interested in as a person, but also as a SEO kind of thing, like competitors bashing. But the thing he's talking about quite a bit is pretty deep stuff, and he's spending a long time, like an hour long, sometimes 2 hours long on it, like to make his videos. Like that's how long his videos are. I mean, and it's just kind of insane that he's basically working with super long form content for the most part.
Send me the link. I haven't seen that, I don't think. And I just sent you Jacob's stuff. Yeah. Also too, working with a thumbnail creator. It's interesting, we've been talking about it. This is some of the nuances is like I like the style, and we're gonna see over the next 3 months how does it do, because I'm gonna do A/B testing.
You said me 3 times.
I know, bro. Listen to this.
Twitter's been broken.
Yeah, like sometimes like the notifications, what's happening.
I'll see you on Threads.
Yeah, exactly. Are you on Blue Sky?
I'm on all of them, baby.
I should have known that.
Yeah, I've been on Blue Sky, Mastodon, Threads, Lens, basically since they came out.
I love it. Let me share my screen real quick. If this is helpful.
This is a good moment for me to mention. This is the time for you to back up your data. I have my backup drives in this little plastic container right here. Please go back up your data, put it in the cloud, put it on the backup drive. I almost lost everything this week, so I need you all to do this.
Could you talk about what was the genesis? Why did this happen?
We can do it after your little story here, buddy.
So basically, if we're looking at this, let's look at the analytics, or let me just look at content. I know I have so many unlisted stuff too.
Yeah, we gotta fix that.
Why? No, some are, I'm working with clients and stuff, Okay, so if we look at this would be better. So we're starting to change the thumbnails out a little bit. And so you can clearly see I've been working with...
The top row I really like.
These, huh?
The top row.
Yeah. So they're from 3 different... one, 2... Okay, so you're looking at 2 different types. So the ones that are from here, Start Your Own Business Up, he's been doing the majority of them. The one, How to Create an AI Podcast for Free in 5 Minutes, that was based off a mock-up of Spotter Studio, and then we just made it based off of that. So yeah, his are doing good. This is Reyes the Entrepreneur. He's doing those. And so
I do like those too. I just think we need better versions of you.
Yeah. And so he asked new creatives. So we're going to see what happens with that. We're going to see what happens. So
especially now you got the beard, you got to, showcase it.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to change that. And so right here, let's go with, this was a video. I kept seeing this topic, but I'm like, I don't see this video out here, and I can't see the search volume based on the subject, but I did a Google search, and I'm like, there's tons of Google searches. I'm just going to do this video. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but if you notice, external 90%, and this is what's holding this video. Like, this is what's making.
I think that's what you need to really double down on, is finding ways that, like, don't do YouTube SEO, do Google SEO. And see what happens there. I think that's really how you're going to get to 100K.
Yeah, I think you might be right. This is, external 72%.
It's interesting how, like, the 2 thumbnails, one of them, the orange one has 1%.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Where was that?
I think Reach.
Is it Reach?
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
See, and this changed over time, right? So before, blue was winning. Yeah. And now it's kind of evening it out, and now that's 50% there. And it's funny, we were talking about it. We're like, I think orange is going to win. Like, I think orange is going to be better.
I had a gut feeling. It's more appealing to the eyes because it's brighter color,
Yeah. So,
the blue is more on brand, so it makes,
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll, we'll switch it out. If it wins, it wins. So it's got, which is the thumbnail test, which is interesting. I never do a thumbnail test this long, but YouTube is doing like 12 plus days of this. So we'll see what happens. and we'll do the winner from there. But yeah, that's what we got so far.
I love it. So if you're still watching this, guys, I know that we've been talking about a lot of different things. We're talking about his YouTube SEO. We're talking about a little bit of Pinterest later on. I have a story that I want to share with you all to help make sure you back up your dang data. We'll get to that in a second. So we have a few different topics today that'll help you out. Back to that story. I hate Windows right now because I almost went Linux, honestly, after this week, because I was like, I don't want to deal with this again. Windows Update is one of those things where sometimes you can pause it, and sometimes they're like, no, gun to your head, you're going to update now. And that's what happened Tuesday night, where Windows would not let me pause it. They were like, you have to update. It's either going to be now or you're going to learn your lesson and you're going to do it later this week. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to save my work and I'm going to update, let it run over Tuesday night. I wake up Wednesday morning like I normally do, except for like I didn't do today. I wake up Wednesday morning, I put on my computer, go into the kitchen, grab a coffee, come back. Usually the computer's on by now. It's not on. That's weird. I turn it on again. Still won't go into Windows. Turn it on again. Won't go to Windows. Constantly kind of do this process. And it was really weird, Doc, because I couldn't even get into like safe mode. And I'm like sitting there trying to just, get into Windows at this point. And so I realized, okay, maybe I could just reset my PC and just keep my data. Like I just want my data. That's all I care about. And it gets like 50% of the way through the process and it crashes. And so now there's 2 Windows installations on my drive, which confuses things even more. And at this point, like, okay, this computer is not going to help me at all. So I take the drive out, I plug it into my Windows laptop, and try to see if I can just like take the data off, like hack into my drive if I will. I even pulled up the command line at one point, which is well beyond my prowess. Shout out to Perplexity AI. It helped me out a lot during this process. A lot. I even installed Linux on a different computer. Luckily, I have backups. I have backups for a reason, though, because this kind of stuff happened to me like 10 years ago, and I don't want to lose my computer. But I installed Linux. I'm even using command line in Linux to try to hack into my own encrypted drive, Doc. I feel like Neo in the Matrix here. I'm like, I'm in. I'm like hacking into it. But the problem is, I'm not in. I just can't get into my drive. I can't get my data. And so I'm from 8:30 in the morning all the way to like 3 in the afternoon. I'm working non-stop to try to save this data. Nothing happens. And so my uncle, who's a techie, he's like, you need to take a step back. Don't rush into things. You're going to make a bad decision. And he was right, because I was starting to get desperate. Take a step back. We talk about it a little bit more. Comes up with the idea of putting my drive into my old computer and logging into Windows. Because even though the laptop had the same login, I still couldn't get the encrypted data. But if I log into the computer through itself, then this should be all right. And while I wasn't able to log in, put it into the computer, was able to actually access the data, and I was able to scrape it off and save it. But I still went in and reinstalled Windows and had to reinstall all my apps and all that jazz. But at least I have my data. But I normally am better at backing things up, but it had been about a month because I was just working nonstop. As you know, Doc, we talked about the last 4 weeks. I've been working, forgot to back it up, and lo and behold, look what happened. So now I got it in the cloud too.
That's please don't let that happen again.
Yes.
Ever.
And for anyone listening in, please don't let it happen to you.
I'm glad that
your stuff up.
And the thing was, I think to me, as I was reviewing it, it was almost like you were live tweeting like what was going on.
Oh, you should have seen my stories. Oh my God. On Instagram, you should have seen my stories.
And it was almost like dealing with like grief, like a dead loved one, because like the emotions were all over. I just didn't respond back. I was just looking at it. I was like, well, he'll be okay. There's no point of me. I gave some thumbs up, I think, but like the emotions in the text, I was like,
so the thing is,
he just needs to vent about this. That's all.
like I said, you should see my Instagram stories. I was listening to music. I literally put I put different songs throughout the day of like what I was feeling. And at one point, I'm like, I have Dragon Force Through Fire and Flames because I'm like, I need this level of speed. Like I have Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf because I'm like, I need this kind of speed to like try to do it. And then later on, I picked some sad songs. I'll say. I was definitely staying very logical and stoic though, like just internally, because I was like, if I show any emotion, I'm gonna break down. Like that's how important this data was, and so I'm glad I stayed stoic because otherwise it would have been bad. But yeah,
I'm glad that you made it, and congratulations. Yes.
Well, and that's again a lesson for creators. Like I said, back up your stuff. Make sure you have places in different. Like every time I made a blog post, I started backing it up to Notion, and that's why I always have my Notion database. That's why I created my content ecosystem, so I have a backup. It's not just for planning my content going forward. It's also to back up my previous content.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's I have a external SSD that I just like two
Yeah.
terabyte that I just add all my stuff, all my
I bought a 5
videos.
terabyte just because I was trying to future proof a little bit.
I love it. I was at Micro Center. I kid you not, there was a 24 terabyte
Hmm.
like external. I was like, this is ridiculous. I I think every time like I remember years ago, I was like, it's like a terabyte. Like I'll have this the rest of my life.
Yeah,
And
no.
like yeah, 24 is not that
With
bad
the live
anymore.
streams you're doing, I don't know, but
I
that.
know. I know. That was before the live streams.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, so we've gone through a little bit about that. Can we talk about Pinterest? And this is intriguing to me because
Yes.
as a YouTuber and just a content creator, I feel like I don't have the skills necessary for Pinterest or the eye. I need to know, why should I look at Pinterest? What are the opportunities and how would I get started?
So people often think from the niche's point of view, like, oh, I'm a self-development blogger, I'm a food blogger, I'm a travel blogger, so I should post to Pinterest, right? Those are a lot of big categories on there. Great. And it is predominantly female too, which makes a difference for you and I, obviously. And it's one of those things where people kind of get turned off by that idea. But the way my brain works is that all these different platforms are just content platforms, Pinterest and Instagram, or pictures, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok, or short form video, TikTok and YouTube, or long form video. And so like I just think about like, what do these platforms provide as a physical concept of like content? And so when I thought of Pinterest, I thought of it just as a place to put pictures. And that's what I started out with. I started sharing my pictures of my thumbnails, whether it was a YouTube or a blog post, more specifically blog posts. But then eventually I realized, why am I not posting my Instagram pictures to here? And so in my search for automation tools, I found a tool or a few that could take my Instagram pic and automatically post it to Pinterest. Cool. Now at least I have something going there. But that's not really enough. And so I have an automation now for every YouTube video, podcast, and blog post automatically be sitting there. Might as well get some views on that stuff, especially since Pinterest and Reddit are two places where you can go like mega viral, or at least it used to be back in the day. I think you still can now, but I think it was a lot more common back in the day for a lot of bloggers to just like get quick 200,000 views on a blog post because it just went viral on Pinterest. And so I was like, I want to take advantage of that virality. And all I'm doing is automating. I don't necessarily suggest doing automation for every platform, but if there's a platform you want to be on and you don't have the ability or time to do it effectively, then find a way to effectively automate. The next thing is, and this is where I think a lot of the real power of automation is that I started syndicating all my short form clips to there. So now I have 10 clips a day, plus however many posts I'm posting a day getting sent there. And then every week sending my Instagram pictures there too. And so now I actually have a pretty good content strategy, and all it is just syndicating.
I like that. Also too, I'm not sure. To me, I go to the fact that I think I'll have to look at the exact stat, but Pinterest is the most profitable e-commerce platform of any social. Basically, you make the most money on Pinterest per post than any other social media platform if you can do it correctly. So if it's going to e-commerce, if it's going to an affiliate link, when people are building their boards or building that awareness of what they want to create, if you're good at that curation and they use your board or they promote it, they're going to use that link, or they'll tell other people by their board being there. And then you get all of that traffic to actually that product. So before, back in the day, it would be going to the blog, then people would be on your blog and either AdSense or whatever. But it's been a real change in the last couple of years working with clients where they're using Pinterest. Basically, that's where they're either capturing leads and doing a lead generation, or they're going straight to the store and people just buying it and they're getting a piece of that from their affiliate links.
And I was showing you actually my views over the last year because Nuelink has pretty good analytics. I don't think Nuelink is getting analytics for every platform because of the API rules for some of them. So take that picture I sent you with a grain of salt. It actually might be more because it's probably not pulling up YouTube or something like that, for example. But on the platforms it is seen, I had over 370,000 views in the last year across all my socials. So that's insane. That's great. 126,000 of that was from Pinterest. So a third of it was from Pinterest. And it was interesting too, because at one point when I was sharing all these clips, I was doing 8 clips a day across TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and Pinterest as the 4 platforms I chose. Pinterest was doing 25 to 30,000 views, which was like more than all the other ones combined starting out. Eventually, at one point, I got 25,000 views across all 4 of them one month. And then most of the time, my YouTube channel is probably the highest, sitting around like 20 to 25 when I was posting like 10 a day. And it's just interesting because all my platforms have pretty low following besides TikTok. And even then, still not the highest. But the fact that it's getting that many views in a month time span and Pinterest was actually getting more is like, yeah, that's what I had to point out.
I love it. Yeah. And, it reminds me of the thing is, the 2 things. It reminds me of like when you're on LinkedIn is so starved of videos. I can put a video that's native on LinkedIn, and weeks later, it's still getting like voted on and things like that, because that just shows you the lack of inventory that they have and they're trying to push.
You're making me want to do it now. Dang it.
I'm telling you,
I need to.
I don't even try that hard on it, and I still get people that are in my network that are messaging me. And then I think it's the same opportunity with tech, with Pinterest. I think in general, I know my audience, and my audience has gone down. So my audience used to be 99% men. It's 86% men now, but that's still high. I think it's because it's tech related, but I still think that most guys just don't think about Pinterest. They think about Twitter or YouTube and TikTok. And I think they're just sleeping on it. So
I also think that maybe you do need to like increase your female audience as well. I know you probably have been trying to and whatnot. I'm just saying like that would also be an interesting way to increase your subscriber count just by like going to the places where you'll find them more.
Yeah, I think it's more Facebook groups. There's a lot of different aspects with it, but I definitely agree with you. No, it's I'm willing to try it. I think I need to, and let me know, maybe, can you share your board? What does yours look like? And by the way, I just looked at our name is on this thing in Riverside. Did you do that? Who did this?
The brand doctors?
Yeah, no. I see Doc Williams and I see Dustin right there. Do you see this? Or is it just a
thumbnails?
preview? Yeah, just a preview on our screen. Is this just like a preview or?
Yeah, this is like our names in the back studio.
Okay, I didn't know if it was going to be showing up on the video themselves too.
No, I can make it show up in the video, but I generally don't because I don't.
No. I was just wondering.
I need to make sure I go through our old videos and make sure I have links to your channel each one. I know I have it for at least 2 of them.
No. It's good. Sorry, I saw that and I was like, oh no, he's repurposing. He's going to be mad about this.
Why? Oh no, yeah, because you'd be kind of surprised. I've been kind of lax about some of that stuff over the years.
I am shocked. But okay. Back on track.
I know I just said I was getting like 30,000 views, but I also haven't been posting clips hardly at all recently. So all my channels have been going down. But I just wanted to mention that.
So are you using Repurpose? What are you doing with
I'm using
these posts?
I don't touch Repurpose anymore after I got like really screwed over with the tool. As much as I love the tool and I love Handy, I just don't use it. I use Nuelink, which we've talked about before on this channel quite a bit. Nuelink is very powerful when it comes to automations. In fact, I think Nuelink is the only one that competes with Repurpose when it comes to automations because Zapier breaks too much.
Yeah, amen. It's too expensive. So,
you can see here. Okay, I have my clips that I've been posting, and those are just getting natively posted. They're not getting reposted. So I'm basically sending them to Pinterest directly. This might be the same thumbnail, but it's 2 different podcasts. For my solo cast, I don't make a separate thumbnail for them. I only make a separate thumbnail for every interview, which is what this one was. And then this is the video version here. Here's my other YouTube channel. Here's my blog. Here's my blog again. Here's the other YouTube channel. Here's the first YouTube channel. And again, this is a blog and a YouTube video. So that's why it's the same one duplicated there. And so you can see through here, like, okay, I have my blogs. I have a video, clip, blog, video, clips. And it's just interspersed. And I think that while this isn't the most refined strategy, the fact that I'm not doing anything, it's just happening automatically, I think that makes a big deal. It's a big difference there. And some of them are getting views. I want to kind of scroll back to when I was getting a lot more views, though, because I think that was a lot more helpful to me. but maybe I can't. Maybe I posted too much. This is all in the last like month.
Let me see about this. I mean, who is there anyone in our circle that does Pinterest at all?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I can't see.
Maybe I should put the bat signal out on this. Let me see about this for a second. Pinterest.com. Like my search doesn't even get here. They're like, what is this? Who are you?
I definitely think that I'm not doing perfect, and I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not doing anything, is what I'm trying to point out. And yet I'm getting, 6 to 30,000 views. And again, I'm only getting 6,000 views because I really have not been putting out that much content onto Pinterest recently. Yeah. And I've been kind of focusing too much on the long form content, not enough on social content. But I think it's just really interesting to think about how if you aren't able to be on that platform effectively, then don't be there. But if you're able to be semi-effectively with just automation, then I think that is good. And if you notice there, I have 3 or 4 different automations set up. It's not just one. If you're just one, I don't think that's very effective. I think you're just kind of being not spammy, but just, not ideal. But having all 4 there and it's interspersed, it almost looks like strategic because it's getting, sandwiched and into leads very effectively.
Oh, yeah. As you're saying this, I'm talking to Lola. I just sent a message to Lola. I'm like, do you use Pinterest? But I think that also shows you like you're starting, you're initiating traction, you're trying to do something, and that's better than just try or not doing it and not trying it. I want
to talk to you about some of these endeavors I've tried, by the way.
Okay. Well, I'll say this last thing about, I think about it the same way as you were talking about Instagram Reels. One of my clients, they're crushing. I mean, first of all, I'm just going to show you who they are. Let me bring this up. What I mean by that is,
share your screen too, so people can see.
Yeah, let me bring this stuff up real quick. Let me see. Let me do some things. Let me bring this up real quick. Okay, that one. All you see is like League of Legends and arcane.
I can't see anything yet.
All right, hold on one second.
Want to make sure the audience can get part of this too.
Give me a second.
Oh, hurry up.
All right. Now you're rushing me. All right. So, it's pretty simple. Make a wood sign. I've been working with them for years. So, it's what's on the tin. He makes wood signs. They've been doing this for years. They crush it with their Shopify store. So we build a Shopify store for them. We give them ideas for different campaigns, things like that. Their sales just keep going up and up, which is great. But if you're looking at it, number one, he does 2 different things. And I know what he's going to say. I know what you're going to say about this. His shorts, he puts out so many shorts.
Guess what he's using?
He's using Opus.
Yeah, I can tell.
But I told him to use it before. He was paying $20 for one. And I was like, listen, bro, I was like, just use Opus. And like his numbers are doing just as good as when someone, and I told him, I was like, most likely they were probably just using Opus clips and just charging you $20. And he's like, this is crazy. And you look at it, even going back here, I know the person
23,000 views.
Yeah. Let's
one
see.
Of those. 11,000.
Yeah. And I look at
91,000 views. Holy crap.
So, and it's just them doing that. And then we were talking about vertical live streaming, and they're like, we're going to try that too. I love that they're willing to do it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you can see them doing vertical, and like it's them just like, look, his is 4,600 on that one for vertical, and you can see they're doing good with that. Look, their normal nightly live ones that they've been doing for years, 700 whatever, but look at this. Just them doing stencils, 27,000 on vertical.
I'm telling you, YouTube is pushing hard on vertical.
Let me just do that real quick. I'm serious.
Telling you.
All right. We're going to do this later today. First, okay, let me write this down. I need to understand this a little bit. But it's so pissing me off.
I also want to show you why.
I tell them to do this. My client, I was like, yeah, I just do it. I haven't done it. And I was like, I haven't looked at their numbers until we're talking right now. I'm like, but
Doc, when I tell you something's meta, I'm telling you it's meta.
I know. Now, I can't search by search volume on Reels on Instagram, I don't think. but one of their reels got 1.2 million.
Wait, what the hell is AI Studio on Instagram? I don't have that.
AI Studio. What are you
On the left
looking at?
side, on your right under profile.
I don't know. Really?
Click it. Let's find out.
I've never seen this before. What
I
is
guess
this?
I guess it's just like YouTube's little AI studio, so you can make AI content or whatever.
So
But
weird.
now we got a rabbit hole.
We're not even going to talk about this right now. You don't have this?
Let me double check. I don't think so.
I need to follow. Why am I not following my client?
Yes, I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah, I don't have it. My thing goes to create and profile, but I don't have dashboard or AI Studio.
I don't know if this is
no. Okay, I do have AI
it?
Studio.
See
Never
it?
mind, I have AI Studio, but I don't have dashboard. That's weird. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, all right, fine. All right, fine.
Write it down. I'm gonna share my screen.
All right, hold on.
So there's a couple things I wanted to show you too, which is kind of funny.
Why do we do this? Why do we even do this?
Well, because people are gonna think it's funny and they're gonna find some cool stuff.
That's true.
All right. So first off, I have a plugin that lets me see more YouTube videos on my dashboard because I hated seeing only like 4 videos. Secondly, look who decides to show up in the primary spot.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
And I need to make sure I like that video. And then you even come down here. My own content. Wait, hold on. Is this posted on the right channel? Please tell me it's posted on the right channel. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What's going on here?
Oh, no.
Is it all going to the wrong channel?
Yeah. How? Did I forget to switch over? Oh, no. I guess it's going to both channels this time because that's not posting to the right channel. Yep. I got to redo that. Okay. Good to know.
That's why we're doing this.
But here's that person I was talking about earlier. She has a really cool channel. She's doing shorts, and her shorts for a small channel, 389 subscribers, she's getting 200 to 500 views. That's pretty good. She has pretty great videos and pretty decent thumbnails. You can't really see it with my modifier, but good titles, good thumbnails for the most part. Maybe the colors could be a little bit better, the size of the font a little bit better, but it's actually pretty interesting stuff. And she's getting 1.5K views and stuff like that.
Send me the link.
She's actually doing pretty dang well for a brand new creator.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to help you out, as much as I can. Please let me help you.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
I'm so upset about the clips, dude.
I am sorry.
Well, think of it this way. It's only going to be posted twice. That's the only problem. That's the only thing that's happening there. And you know what? This guy that I interviewed, he is a content creator that I looked up to back in the day anyways. So he's a content creator. It fits. It may not be the right topics for the channel, but he's at least a content creator. It works.
I love it.
If you're watching this, I'm sorry that I made that mistake.
I love that. No, it looks up.
But I wanted to talk to you before we wrapped up, too. I'm not sure how much time you have today about the endeavors. Because I'm throwing crap to the wall and trying to see what sticks, right? Trying to get that first mover advantage because I hate being the small, and I wanted to see what I can do to fix that. And so the first thing I'll tell you about this week that I spent an egregious amount of time on, and I wish it didn't take this long, but it kept failing 20% of the time, so I had to redo 20% of the process, and that was uploading to Spotify. Spotify released their clips, and you can do 1 clip per interview, and I just try to find the best one. I kind of wish I had a tool, which I know Opus and Descript are working on it, but I wish I could do 4 highlights from the same interview into 1 clip. That would be perfect for Spotify right now, but I can't quite do that just yet, at least not super easily. So I just picked the best clip I could from each of them. And then I was like, I can't just upload the clips and not have video versions on Spotify. So I went through and painstakingly uploaded every interview or 99% of the interviews video version. There was one that is a blacklisted person from my show, and the other one just wouldn't work for some reason. It was broken. I had no option to even upload the video version, which is weird. So, yeah. Besides those 2, I uploaded the video version. I spent the entire day Thursday, and I still had 40% left over.
So the question that I have for you is,
I should show you a picture.
Tell me more. Hold on 1 second.
Even on my homepage of Spotify, I was getting clips. Let me find the picture because it just changed on me, which is weird. But I'm literally getting clips as soon as I open the app. And I'm like, oh, that means they're pushing it kind of hard. Like if you look at it, I slightly scrolled on the app here. Do you see my screen? Or you see it here?
Hold on. Go back. Okay, yeah.
So you can see how there's literally clips just being pushed to me right above there is like the first links you have of the app. Then they have the Spotify Wrapped, and then they have the clips. And so they literally have these podcast clips being pushed right to the front of the app. And now I have nearly 200 clips, which is a lot considering the limitations of the platform. And so I'm hoping that it'll help boost my 2 shows on there.
Interesting. Very interesting. So I like all this.
Do you have an audio feed of your show?
Which show? Like, just in general, my different videos, or what do you mean?
Like, I almost wonder, I use Transistor.fm, and I have unlimited podcasts on there. I wonder if we should make a few podcast versions of your shows that you feel like are the most important, and then just make a podcast. I definitely think that repurposing your stuff into an audio show, especially if it's already kind of audio efficient, like if I listen to what you're saying, I can get what you're saying. I don't need to see the visuals, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case, then you might as well.
In general, I think I can. And then also too, I was thinking about this.
I was thinking about making a podcast network anyway, so.
You would. So, okay, so I'm gonna push back a little bit on what you said. I like what you're saying. I would say, how much time are you spending on your goals where if what you're doing aligns with energy and effort and the likelihood of this being profitable? How much time have you been spending on that?
Well, remember, the profitability is not my goal right now. It's growth, so I can be profitable. Because right now, I'm not where you're at. You're a little bit bigger, and so you're able to kind of profit a little bit more. I need to get to where you're at now. And so that's why I'm trying to grow. And I'm trying to do a lot of Hail Marys to grow.
I would push back. I was checking on this. My income really hasn't changed that much from a couple thousand to 36,000.
But I'm not at a couple thousand yet. I need to get to at least like 1K across all my channels. I think would be a really good goal, or at the very least on my main channel. But I think PolyTools is actually going to grow faster. Like I think my main channel, since it's been around long enough, it's going to get to 1,000 probably first. But I think the PolyTools channel is probably going to grow faster than any of them. And I'm not doing much on the gaming channel, so I don't think it's going to grow very fast because I'm not posting.
This is what we're going to talk about next time. We're going to look into your analytics. We're going to deep dive into your analytics again.
Well, let me finish some of the endeavors.
No,
I'm going to finish what I'm saying, people. Because the Spotify was one of them. The other one is related to what we talked about earlier. LinkedIn is pushing video hard, and I'm sitting on 2,500 clips at this point. And I also, due to the limitations of the social media platform that I was using before for posting, I only had 4 options, and I chose Pinterest over Facebook. And so I have a small following on Facebook. I need to cater to that audience too. And I also figured, considering what we talked about earlier, Pinterest is kind of a catch-all. I might as well just add Pinterest to it too, again, and repost them to Pinterest. And so LinkedIn, Facebook, and Pinterest. And ideally, I would like to do Lemon 8 as well, but there's no API yet for that. But Lemon 8 is the new TikTok or new Instagram or whatever. But that's a whole other topic.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I've told you about it.
Yeah, we can talk about a lot of things, though.
But since TikTok's probably getting banned,
I'll wait for it. It's been so long.
But yes, I'm trying to take advantage of these, big pushes for these platforms, and yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that.
I love it.
First mover advantage.
Love to hear it. All of those things.
It is time to wrap up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up then.
So we talked about Pinterest. We talked about, taking advantage of different platforms. We talked about making sure your YouTube audience is balanced when it comes to men and women, and also making sure you have enough traffic going to it, even having some SEO traffic in Doc's case, which I hopefully we can expand upon more this month. And then on top of that, really just, getting back from vacation and getting back to the groove of things,
Love it. After this, either we'll do it live or after this call, I need to look at vertical live streaming so I can knock this thing out right now.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
And next time, let's do it.
All right. Aloha.